Okay, welcome back to my channel, everybody. Today I am actually going to try and make a tarot tag. So, um, yeah, welcome back to Five Pentacles tarot person, tarot dude, whatever we want to call myself. I don't really care. So first of all, to all the people that I tagged, obviously they have large channels and I have just a new start. So I'm very honored if anyone would do this tag. The reason that I tagged the people that I tagged was just because I've already watched some of their tags, or I've done a video response to their tag, or I just like what they say. I like their personality, their cards that they have, whatever. So this is just going to be my tag. It's called Tarot Reunion Party is what I'm going to hashtag it. Basically, the way it's going to work is I'll have a prompt. I actually ended up with 7. So I think 7 is always a good number, right? 7 different people at the reunion party. The first one being ourselves. And then kind of a story to each one that either has to do with how I relate to that card, something I think about that card, and also each card is out of a different deck, which means that we have 7 different cards, but also that card out of 7 different decks, right? So, yeah, it's a little bit of work, I guess, to do that. And I know I only have like 20 decks to look through, whereas other people have 200 decks that they have to decide which deck they want to use for which card. But then they also have more experience and more stories to each card, right? So without further ado, let's get started on this. So the first prompt is, "This is me." And we're just going to always, let's see if I can actually give this kind of a little. And as we can already see, there we go. I'm going to put these more out of the way. Okay, here we go. So, the reason I put on the t-shirt today, right? The Hanged Man. In the deck that I chose, the Hanged Man, and the reason for it is, in this deck, I really thought it looked very beautiful. This is my, what is it called? The Steampunk Tarot, the pocket version, obviously. But in this one, I really kind of got the impression of that halo around him, right? Which really shows the enlightenment of the different perspective, right? Putting normal normal ideas on their head and kind of seeing it different from everyone else. And so I chose this for the "This Is Me" card because I do feel like I see things very differently than other people, which may become evident now also in the other cards that I'm showing. So, yeah, that's the first card. Simple as that. This is me. I don't really want to say that I'm more enlightened than other people, but I do want to say that I like to hang around, like to take things at a comfortable pace. Definitely not a slow pace. I definitely do a lot of running and working when I have to. Oh yeah, also the reason that I didn't pick the 5 of Pentacles for this card, though my name is, my 5 Pentacles, is because I already did a very short, kind of like 3-minute video about the 5 of Pentacles, kind of introducing me. So I wanted to pick a different one. This one is one that I have on my t-shirt. I really like that. I like my t-shirt with the kind of a puppet like that, and it's just, I don't know, this card is beautiful. I'm going to show every single one of the 7 from this guy. Here is the Wydell Tarot. He's a hanged man. He doesn't have a shirt on. Here's the Before Tarot. Here's my Vice Versa Tarot. He's got the symbol on there. And from the back, there's the 2 guys looking at him. This is my everyday tarot. Love that one. This is the Pride Tarot. And lastly, the Hanged Man in the 8 Coins Tattoo Tarot. That's a really pretty one, isn't it? Anyway, I like kind of seeing the, how they look in different ones. I think I might spread it out for the next ones, kind of spread it for everyone to see. Okay. Second card. Who do you want at the party? So this is your first invite to the party. I picked the Five of Wands. And for that I picked the Wydell Tarot, which is this tarot, because it's very classic. It looks very much like the Rider-Waite. It's just a little bit different. But because this is one of those where I, as a artist, really appreciated so even a little bit different than this card in the very original, but I don't have that one anymore. The way these 5 wands kind of draw your eye back and forth across this card. It's kind of a nice composition of the different directions. I don't know, it just was, to me, always a very interesting card. Like I said, I don't have my first tarot deck anymore. I switched that with somebody, so that's why this is kind of standing in for that as the classic Rider-Waite-Smith art, where those wands just, I love the way they all kind of cross over, create different angles, different triangles, and this rowdiness. And this is why I picked this one or invited these guys. I love that this fight is not a serious fight. It's a playful fight that is strengthening them, right? The guys that strengthen each other, that know how to not take things so seriously. So I really like that one. Once again, I will always just kind of show each of the cards from every deck. Here there are those guys. This one is very symmetrical, very different than what I like about it in the original art. And this once again shows a lot of that what I meant, except very close up to just the wands, right? The angles that draw your eye back and forth, back and forth. So that is who I would invite first. The second prompt is that oddball. So, that oddball. Why did I pick this for that oddball? So even back when I started, I've only been doing this for about 4 years, but when I started to learn tarot cards and kind of watch different videos on it and read different books on it, the books that come with it, I really found interesting how this card, in some people's interpretation, it's without color, so you don't know what this is. It's water. In other people's, it's the dawn or dusk. That's why the water's yellow. Other people say the water has been so dirtied that it's not blue anymore. Other people have said it's sand. It's a desert. The water's all dried up. He's waited too long for something. The ships are on dry sand, and they're not going to be going anywhere. Some say he's yearning for travel, much like the Two of Wands. Others say we're just waiting for his ship to come in, right? So being patient for a win. So to me, this card is kind of a card. I love this card, the way that you can, see why is this water so yellow, or is it even water? Is it sand, or what is the point of this? Here we also see he's kind of more in a dry desert. There's no ships there. And then he's all of a sudden in a forest. Anyway, so this is kind of the oddball where you kind of wonder what exactly, what's the meaning of it? Or do you have your own meaning? There, it's obviously clear water. So, that's kind of what I like to hear, is different people's perspective on what do they pull out of the card, right? I mean, like I said, that's how I learned when I first started. I already watched so many YouTube videos on different people telling me more than what it just says in that little booklet that comes with it, right? So this one is I understand you now. So this is the misunderstood guy that is at the party that I now understand. The Chariot is the one that I picked. We know what the Chariot usually looks like, right? It has usually one black sphinx, one white sphinx, oftentimes a kind of magical background like that. And this is the deck that made me understand this card more, where a lot of cards have some kind of movement, right? Or some kind of, oh, there's a journey or whatever. This card, also again, classic with the black and white sphinx. And then when you turn it over, though, it's showing him kind of going from this imagination into reality, which kind of made me see a little more than just a literal physical journey. And I thought, okay, that's really cool. It's actually just like making your dreams come true, right? Making your ideas become reality. And also, I've seen it as kind of an honorable mention for another deck that I didn't pull out. I decided this one fits for this card. But on another deck, I feel like I read about, this guy being successful, though he's not doing the carrying, the two sphinxes are. Or in this other deck, I believe it's two guys carrying him on a shield, kind of like how you see in, what is that, like, I'm thinking Asterix and Obelix. I don't know if anyone knows what that is, but, they kind of, they carry the guy around on the shield, and he's just standing on it. So it's kind of like a, making other people work for you, basically, getting people on board. I don't know. This has a lot of meanings now that I've seen it in different contexts, but in this one, really, the positive meaning of reality can happen. Dreams can become reality, I guess. And then here are a couple more of the other versions. That's pretty, isn't it? It's kind of nice. And this Chariot, there's no chariot at all, so always interesting to see how different people interpret, right? I love that. Okay. All right, this one is going to be the person that you just can't stand, I guess. I called it Who Invited Him? And here I chose the Hierophant. So the reason I decided to choose the Hierophant is, to me, this is a very authoritative card. These two people are not allowed to have these keys, these secrets. They have to be subordinate to him. And he is, like a teacher, but a teacher that doesn't want you to learn by looking for information. He only wants you to look to him. I mean, of course, if people are going to respond to this, they can always say, hey, I don't see it that way. You can even just comment down there. This is what I think about this card. I think you have it wrong. I love hearing that. That's kind of part of the reason of doing this. The point is for people to teach me, ironically, as I'm saying that about this card, to, show different perspectives as the Hanged Man, I guess. Right? But this one I always found very, he's going to hide those keys and only tell you what you need to know and not the whole truth type of thing. So that's my business with the Hierophant. He has keys that he doesn't think everybody should know, and I just, this is kind of a weird one, how they happen to put, they don't call it the Hierophant, they call it the Messenger. And this one, once again, so completely different. I really like the card in this one, actually. It's very beautiful. But yeah, secret keys that are kept from most of humanity because only you know, they think that, hey, we think the best thing to do is keep people in the dark. We know what's best for people who don't even know what the options are. I don't know. Maybe that's just my little tiny bit of rebelliousness. I really don't find myself that rebellious. I'm usually trying to kind of fit in with everyone, make everyone happy type of a person. So my favorite royal or Solomon's Invite. I decided this is like a court card. So, you're like, I don't know if you guys know Solomon. He had different royals from neighboring kingdoms visiting him and everything. So I thought this one should be your favorite court card and what you think about him. Oh, look at who it is. There's my cat. You guys want to see my cat? Hi. Okay. So this King of Cups, I decided is my favorite court card because he is someone that I've become familiar with. Right? He's got water all around him usually, but he's usually not letting it touch him, right? He's not pouring that out. He's staying strong. And for this card, I chose this one because I really think it shows how he is full of emotion, but he keeps the ship sailing on his head. It's like he is so full of love and full of emotion, but at the same time, he doesn't spew it out, right? He keeps it close to his collar. Which, interesting enough, as I was doing research for my own tarot deck that I'm starting or that I'm doing, Bruce Willis is I think it was Pisces, and he a quote that I'm going to be putting in my deck. He actually says, people wouldn't know that I'm actually quite an emotional guy, but I'm way more proud of being a father than I am of being a famous actor. So I don't know. He's obviously going to be my King of Cups. Anyway, there's that one. I really found it in this deck particularly very cool, very clear, to understand how the king should be seen, the King of Cups. And then here in the last one, this is the King of Cups. Okay. And my last prompt, I put a twin flame, or as a quote to inspire, no, he's cool, he can stay. And in this case, I chose the 13, the Death card. Now, to be clear, this is not the one that I'm looking as a person to be my twin flame. This is as in just, I love this card so much. And we can see here, I feel like the Death card is a card that is always given a lot of creativity. I mean, it looks very different. This is very much more the classic one. Although I think that in this one, he looks like Skeletor. This is very much like the classic one, except the dead Pope down there is missing, or Bishop, or whatever it is that's usually laying right there. This one at a different angle. The Death and Rebirth. Beautiful. This is one card that actually looks kind of classic in this deck. It's not that many in this deck that looks so near to what it actually is. Okay, and here we are. The deck that I chose for that is the Tattoo deck, the 8 coins. 8 coins Tattoo Tarot. So the funny story about this is that when I came back to America, which is about a year ago now, I bought this deck. And just a couple months before that, when I was still living in Germany, I actually got this tattoo, which, as we can see, has some similarity, right? I mean, I really like this. Was actually just Flash. I didn't even come up with this idea. I simply found this Flash at a tattoo convention, and I decided, oh, that looks close enough to a tarot card. Can we put... Yeah, come on in. Can we put that on my arm, and can you just like put the number 13 under there? I kind of like how it looks like the 17 lady came out of her card and walked over to the 13 card, and they kind of started making out. So anyway, and then I decided to buy this because I do like tattoos. And now I have this similar looking death card in my tattoo tarot, you know? So it's funny how that sometimes happens, but I love the death card. I love how it's all about restarting and new beginnings and fruitfulness. I mean, that is the seasons, right? From the things that die, they go into the ground. And then, I mean, unless you rake it all up and throw it all away, have someone paid to pick it up, and then the next spring, you go to the store and buy the mulch, which is the same stuff that you just threw out. It's kind of just hey, nature worked it out to make it work, and then we make all this work out of it as if we need the extra work. When really it's just so easy. It's all created anyway. Not to get too deep about anything. I hope that was enjoyable. I would love if people just comment on what they think about these ideas or these cards. They can comment about what cards you would invite to your party. And hey, if people are actually wanting to make a video, I would love to be included in that as far as tagged to see that I can, see if anyone does this and what they think. I'd love to hear what people are thinking about their cards, what kind of decks they have and all that. So, yeah, have a good day. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you. Leave a like. Bye.